Welcome to an overview of the NLN Nurse Educator Competency 7, Engage in Scholarship of Teaching. Your narrator is Mary Partouche. This competency is listed as 6B in the CNE 2015 Candidate Handbook Detailed Test Blueprint, available at nln.org. The objectives related to Competency 7 are: exhibit a spirit of inquiry about teaching and learning, student development, and evaluation methods. Use evidence-based resources to improve and support teaching. Participate in research activities related to nursing education. Share teaching expertise with colleagues and others. And demonstrate integrity as a scholar. Here is a definition of scholarship, which I particularly like because it recognizes the teaching role of the educator. Scholarship is an inquiry process that results in outcomes. For example, innovation in teaching learning strategies, the development of courses, course materials, and curricula, and the development of measures to assess and evaluate student learning. Have you attended a conference and thought, "I really liked that case study approach the speaker used"? The results of scholarship is or should be shared with others through publications and presentations, for example, that case study that you admired. Grants are available to help with innovation, development, and research, and what you do should be shared with others. Scholarship in higher education was historically considered to be related to basic research that results in development of new knowledge, called the scholarship of discovery. In an earlier lesson, I mentioned that my practicum student gave her undergraduate students a handout to determine their learning styles and added additional teaching strategies to appeal to other learning styles. Using a teaching strategy such as debate, and then surveying your students to find out if this strategy is effective with the learning styles of your students can be related to the scholarship of discovery. Researching literature and then developing an interdisciplinary simulation is an example of the integration, interpreting and synthesizing knowledge crossing disciplines. The scholarship of application is that in which knowledge is applied or translated for use in practice. Certification in a specialty area of nursing is an example of the scholarship of application. Billings gives an example of team-based learning which is applied in nursing by an educator, and in turn the methods and experiences are shared at a national meeting. Most important to student learning is development of case studies, learning packets, and other tools to help students learn. As a part of scholarship, the nurse educator needs to disseminate what was learned through publications, presentations at national meetings, and the like. The viewer is encouraged to explore readings for additional examples of scholarship. The SOTL initiative, and SOTL stands for Scholarship of Teaching and Learning, initiative of the Carnegie Foundation, used Boyer's areas of scholarship to recognize peer faculty work. This initiative recognizes efforts to foster student-centered learning practices, supports the value of teaching, and recognizes scholarly work of faculty. Literature appraisal of research articles on teaching methods can lead to evidence-based teaching. An appraisal tool is available at the Joanna Briggs Institute. Articles supporting evidence for a new teaching method can then be trialed in your teaching. And this slide includes a link to the Joanna Briggs Institute. Scholarship that involves research must meet ethical standards. Use an institutional review board to make sure student rights are protected. Give students choices about whether to participate in the research. This is particularly important when trialing a new teaching method on which there is no prior research. An evidence-based review of the literature prior to implementation could provide benefits of related research and thus give strength to using a new method without causing harm to students. Citing authors of the research you use is part of demonstrating integrity. Obtain a mentor or become a mentor to help peers implement research on new teaching methods and the like. Engaging students and promoting active learning is part of the scholarship of teaching. Teaching methods should be evidence-based. Phillips writes about advantages and disadvantages of various teaching strategies, includes available evidence, and offers tips for teaching. The viewer is encouraged to explore this chapter for new ideas and evidence. Evidence-based teaching practice, sometimes abbreviated EBTP, is also part of an earlier competency, facilitated learning. As noted on this slide, it draws on research in nursing education, higher education, psychology, and allied health disciplines. Uses wisdom and accepted practices, and is guided by theory and empirical data. And questions existing teaching and learning practices that are unfounded, based in tradition, and have not been tested. So use of these practices will help you further develop Competency 7, your scholarship of teaching.